Hi, my name's Maggie Wilde. I'm the Potentialist. I'm an award-winning author. I'm a therapist and I've been working in this field with thousands of clients over the last 14 or 15 years. Before I really talk about what I do and how I help, I wanted to talk about a little bit about the journey that it took to get me to this point where I was able to refine the skills that I was using for many years as a therapist, and refine them to the point where they made an immense impact, and we won an award for psychology and mental health last year in New York. One of the things that I discovered about myself in my teens and my 20s was that I was very angry, very resentful, went through huge bouts of depression. For most of my 20s, I was regular bouts of suicidal thoughts. I was diagnosed at 21 with an autoimmune disease, or multiple autoimmune diseases, and being 20 and thinking that I'm invincible, feeling like my body was letting me down, I became even more angry, more resentful. I spent my teens thinking my 20s would be better. Then I spent my 20s thinking my 30s would be better. And I got to my 30s and life was even worse, if you could even imagine it. I'd still not overcome the habits and behaviors that were exacerbating the symptoms of the disease. I was an emotional eater, a stress eater, a binge eater. I had immense unhealthy habits and sabotage patterns. I was always very successful, but I would find ways to sabotage that success and walk away from success. I didn't have the energy to sustain the success as well. So I would use, I would go through periods where everything was going well, and then my body would run out of energy and I'd end up in hospital. And so by the time I reached 39, I was desperate, and I just honestly prayed that my 40s were going to get better. And at 39, I had a major stroke. It took a major stroke to be my steamroller to wake me up. You'd think I would have had enough little wake-up calls along the way, but at 39 I had a major stroke. I actually had major convulsions and grand mal seizures after the stroke, and died a couple of times, and they resuscitated me and brought me back to life. I was in a coma for quite a period of time after that, and having already been working with clients prior to the stroke, I'd been having immense success. I was a very good therapist. I was naturally gifted, and I never really questioned how what I was doing was working. I just knew it was working. It was busy practice. I was always booked out, and you know what? I'd never thought twice about it. And I'd never used the skills on myself. I had never taken them that seriously. I just knew I was having immense impact with my clients, and I never questioned it. And it took the stroke for me to wake up and realize that I had some pretty amazing skills already, and if I just learned how to master those skills and learned a bit more about them, what I needed to learn was, what was I doing that was actually working? And once I discovered what I was doing and how it worked and how it impacted the brain, perhaps I could refine that and create strategies and mechanisms and brain training skills, and tools that could help me put my brain and body back together, but also then improve the work I was doing and get better results even than I was already having. So I devised this series of brain training audio programs and strategies that are called CPR Mind Potential Kits. And what we looked at doing is, through the study of neuroscience and neuroplasticity, how the immune system worked, how metaphysics works, and how it all impacts the mind-body connection, etc. I was able to really look at how do we develop some strategies to rewire, control unhelpful thinking patterns, program better ones, and rewire the brain for a better default mechanism. The default mechanism that causes us to reach for chocolate when we feel upset or lonely or hurt, or the default mechanism that causes us to have inner critic thinking patterns, or fear and self-doubt issues and lack of self-confidence and self-esteem issues. The mechanisms that the brain believes is protecting us because it learned at some point in our life that it was the mechanism that kept us safe from the fear of rejection, safe from the fear of failure, safe from whatever it was that we needed to devise. And so I began developing these strategies, and we won awards for it last year, for psychology and mental health, as I said before. And the therapies and the work that I do has just gone from strength to strength, and we've now reached people all around the world. So if you think this type of brain training is the type of work that would help you, if you've got sabotage patterns, if you've got this battle in your head between the part of you that wants to achieve something, but the part of you that's sabotaging it, procrastinating, giving up excuses all the time to find ways to not do it, then it might be the type of work for you. So go to one of my sites. It's called howtostopcomforteating.com, and whether your issue is food or not, it doesn't matter. Just register for a free rewire session, and that will I can give you an idea of whether I think you are ready for that type of change, and yeah, we can maybe talk. So my website again, howtostopcomforteating.com, or if you want to look at some of my other work, it's thepotentialist.com. Enjoy and be your potential.